Sarah, what would you say if I told you I had 7,000 pieces of art for you?
I would say hand it over because I've got cards to make.
Right now, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we're going to look at ways to explore those 7,000 pieces, and we're going to see some different things and some fun things.
Right, and some new techniques, maybe new for all of us. So we'll go ahead and play with that and have a great time.
Come join us. You know, I'm usually the one who's good with math, but I just discovered there's 8,000 pieces of art.
Oh, no.
Let's take a look at how we get them to you.
Okay.
They're in CD form.
Right. This is the wonderful thing, because when you think of 8,000 pieces of art, I mean, that could be 8,000 stamps.
Oh, my goodness.
Where are you going to put those?
How are you going to afford them?
Yeah, how are you going to afford them? And well, where are you going to store them? So in this case, we're talking about all of this wonderful art on 2 CDs.
Right.
Which are easy to store.
Pretty good.
And very affordable.
Yes, very much. And that's very fun. Let's look at the first one, which is this 5,400 Tags and Art. And it comes in this jewel case, and on the back of it, you can see, give you a little taste of what's going on.
And this is wonderful too, because we always give you the instructions. Maybe if you could pop this back on here, the instructions for using this. It is very simple to do. You just basically put it inside your computer and
it goes.
Click.
And we also have the same directions on a website, so we give you that address.
Right, but I mean, if you're new to computers, or maybe if you don't use computers a whole lot, don't worry about not finding the instructions. It's really intuitive to use, but it's also, we've got all the information on here for you, so no worries.
5,400 Tags and Art. The other 2,600 is tea bag folding.
Yeah.
Tea bag folding, squares, directions, all sorts of things.
Diagrams, all kinds of things, ideas.
More stuff on the back. So let's delve into the tags.
Okay, let's get started with the tags, and let me bring in a card example.
So you're going to bring in samples first?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is the tags here, and these you print out. You can make them any size you want.
Right. And what I've done in the past is selected an image, and then I've opened up a Word document.
Okay.
I'm working on a Mac, and this works perfectly on a PC as well. So then you'll take that image, and then you can
Just cut it
and paste it, and then you can resize it if you want to. But you can also print these onto vellum, onto cardstock, onto pattern paper, whatever you choose.
And this one looks like a
like a dog tag.
Right. So that's going on. You can also do them like this. Now these are shown full size as they come in the document, but as you said, you can size them. So not only the tag, like this, but also this art, so that you've got more things.
But now, Paulette, does sunshine come on that, printed on that label?
In this particular case, I think it does. However, great point. I think you're going at is that there are many tags that are blank. And you've got some printouts actually from the pages.
Right, right. Actually, I can bring that in and show you.
Okay, just finish that summer fun page. Okay, what do you have?
So these are some of the printouts from that CD.
Okay.
And the nice thing about this being environmentally friendly is that you can print out just what you need if you need to have the instructions printed out.
Yeah, if you want them, there's always ideas that are shown. So we've given you that. And then this is what the page would look like as you would print it out on an 8.5 by 11.
Right. Now this happens to be from our Tag Art cutout book. And I have many of these books partially cut out. And you know, it's always that one tag that I love so much that I want to use it on 6 or 7 different projects, but of course I only had one.
Of course, this book has been out of print for several years.
So so now I can get as many as I want printed out.
Right, and whatever size you want.
Right.
Now, as we talked about, for instance, here's an example, any of these actually, where there's a blank area or indeed a window kind of made in the art for you. So you can, as you digitally clip it out, then put it into the document. Then you can type whatever you want.
Sure.
Print it out, and then you've got your ready-made journal.
Well, and then the other nice thing about this, maybe I don't want a computer journal in here, but maybe I want to print this out and then stamp on it. And I have more than one shot, which is really nice because if I, for some reason, smudge it, ink it, make a mistake, I'm not left with
with
a disaster.
So that's one example. We've got more.
Got a couple more just of the printouts
clip
because
off
I thought this might be helpful for people to see. Again, some basic instructions and things on here and some ideas. But then what we've got on here, for example, is an album page as well as a small tag, gift tag example on there.
Then we've got some other pages. These were just printed. And here's a great example, actually a better example of these look textured, but of course they're not. But they're perfect for you to add whatever you want, or like you said, I like your idea of stamping, or adding dazzles or distressing.
You know, it would be fun to drop in a digital photo on there. I wonder if you could do that.
I'm sure
some
you could
fun
do that.
playing opportunities here.
So there's some. So you can see lots of color options, lots of size options.
Yeah.
And then you've got more.
I've got more. And then these ones are from the Sarah Books collections because we've pulled tags from wherever we could pull tags from. So every single tag that Kyla and Kristen have ever done is on this CD.
And I think this looks like it's from Flea Market Fabrics, which is also out of print.
Okay, so here's where you can get these tag designs.
And there they are.
Yeah, and what's
very fun.
what's really nice, if we can look down at these two little tags down here, which look so simple and humble. These tags I have used in a million different places. These two right here. How nice to have them.
An ever-ready supply.
As often as I want them.
Very good.
Very
and
nice to have.
You can enlarge them.
Yeah,
so we've got one more project?
Yeah, let me bring in, this is the one of the Sarah Surfaces takeout boxes. And you can see on here that we've used some of the tags and the art on here because they're not just tags on the CD.
Actually, it's exactly what just occurred to me is that there are tags, but there's the matching and coordinating art, which is just wonderful.
So this is on that CD too.
It is, yes.
And this is on that CD.
That one.
Okay.
And that one.
And that one.
And
the seeing a pattern
Sarah,
here.
and on the top.
And how nice to be able to have all of these components. For example, if you wanted to do 5 of these boxes that all matched.
Or you were, if you were making like maybe 8x8 or 6x6 albums for several people.
Right.
You've got all of that supply.
You've got everything set to go.
At your fingertips.
Very nice.
And then we'll look at the tea bag folding. Okay, tea bag folding originated in Holland.
Right.
And it was made with the pretty papers that cover tea bags.
Right. Yeah, just like what it sounds, but but now it has evolved and you don't actually have to drink a whole lot of tea in order to get enough embellishments to make a card.
Right, and the CD is going to give you 2,600 tea bag folding squares.
Right.
As well as directions, but let's just see what some of those printouts look
like.
And
actually this is a great way to start, Paulette, because sometimes if you don't know what tea bag folding is, you might think, how intricate is this folding?
You may not want to do something.
Very simple.
Yeah, it's not laborious at all. It's very simple. And some directions are right here.
These are the diagrams, actually, for a couple of different folds. And there are some that are much simpler, and then there are some that are, well, they don't get terribly involved.
They really don't.
A few more steps involved in there.
But you do make multiples.
Yes, so generally 8. To make a
motif.
Medallion.
Ta-da. We also give you on the CD finished examples so that you can see what that looks like and how to put them together. You may want to copy that idea, you may not. You can see this one, if we can get in really tight on that, is a couple of layers of there's this light color and the darker.
Right, and if you look at this medallion here, which happens to be used on a scrapbook page, it could certainly be used on a card as well. But these have been matted onto black.
Oh, I see that outside edge.
Yeah, you can create a base. Once you've created your embellishment, then you can glue it onto a mat, trim around, if you want.
And this was made from these two tea bag square pages. So there's a whole page of each one.
Right. Now the squares are, this is exactly what you would start out with, a sheet like this.
And shall we?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and jump right into it.
So here's another sheet and,
and the paper trimmer.
And a paper trimmer.
This will make it a lot easier. You can also, because the lines are marked on here, you could also use a metal ruler and a craft knife to trim those if you wanted to.
Sure you could. Let's go with the paper trimmer.
I'm going to use the paper trimmer. I know that Susan likes her craft knife and ruler too, so you could go either way. But basically, you're just creating a bunch of these squares.
Right. So,
and again, you generally start with 8.
Yes, and you can cut the long strips however you want to do it. When I get to this point, I like to
you can see it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just